Hey, we established a couple of years ago a feature that we do during the fall of the year, late summer of the year, really, and it's called Honor a Vet. And as a former Republican office holder, I disagree vehemently on a lot of things Democrats want to do in America. But the one thing I have found that, if anything unites us in America today, it is the support of our men and women in the armed forces. Now, we can debate how much funding and what to do here and what to do there, but I've always felt in my political life it's critically important that the men and women who serve our country in the military understand that we'll never let those squabbles and disagreements get in the way of your job, your objective, your service to country. And we've partnered with several sponsors here, and we do an Honor a Vet every week on Friday mornings. And today we have an Honor a Vet winner, Chad Stephenson. Chad is an 11-year United States Marine who has a black belt in Marine Corps martial arts, served 3 deployments throughout the Middle East and Asia, currently still active duty attached to the 0311 Infantry Regiment and station commander of R.S. Florence in South Carolina. Chad, thank you. Good morning.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Appreciate you being here. Nominated by your wife?
Yes, sir.
So apparently you're keeping in good standing around the homestead.
Yes, sir.
You've been married how long?
We're going on 7 years now. Okay, we're a little over 7 years now.
That ain't long enough to screw it up. Wait, 20 more years, she won't nominate you for anything. I want to ask you this. What is Marine Corps martial arts?
Marine Corps martial arts is it's a mixture of around the world training, different forms of fighting, whether it's judo, taekwondo, or karate. It's a little mixture of everything. It's meant to work in a battlefield environment, and it's an environment that they try to create a stressful environment to train people in, to take a basic person and then train them into somebody who's actually capable of fighting hand-to-hand combat down the road.
I got to believe before you agreed to serve in the military, you were a basic person. What motivated you to want to be an American soldier?
What motivated me the most was to really make a difference. I knew I did not want to go to college just because I wasn't really focused on the academics at the time. I've done college since I've been in, but I wanted to do something fun. I wanted to do something I didn't like sitting around, sitting in one spot. And, I thought the military was the best choice for me. And I've talked to all the branches of service, and the Marine Corps was the one that stood out to me.
Okay, you were deployed 3 times throughout the Middle East and Asia. As much or as little about those deployments as you'd like to talk about?
There was one time in Afghanistan. It was a culture shock. It was awesome to see. It was exciting to see.
Exciting how?
It was exciting to see how the people did live over there. I was excited to see the difference that we did make at the time. We got to actually have the opportunity to make a difference to where people's livelihoods are changed a little bit, to actually see the transition from, going back from the Taliban into what their government is today.
Okay, and you took on a different role now with the military. I
am a recruiter right here in Florence, South Carolina. We cover the Sumter area also, all the way up to the North Carolina border. And I'm a recruiter, and it's my job to put people in and ship them to boot camp and make them Marines. Okay,
explain to me why once again, young people really don't know what direction they want to go in. I've always felt, we deserve a mulligan. At such an early age, we have to make these big decisions when we're really not mature enough to make those decisions. But when you talk to young kids, high school juniors and seniors, about what their options are, why is the military, in your opinion, a viable option?
The most important one that stands out to me is education is the most important part for somebody today. Higher education, that's the next step in life. A lot of people cannot afford it. There's 50% of people are defaulting on student loans today. The GI Bill is the first thing that sticks out to people. It might be the one that helps them the most. And then possibly if they can't even get into school, it's just not something that they want to do or even can't get into, the military would be the second option for them. It's something that you can build technical skills and put you out into the civilian world maybe 4 years down the road, and you'll have something to actually be beneficial to the community, to where you can actually walk on and be more marketable than somebody else that's just coming straight out of high school.
So it's not just about learning to shoot a gun and jump out of an airplane. I mean, there are a lot of other things you learn and traits and characteristics. I've read a lot about the men and women who serve in the military, the way it transforms their life. Discipline is always a big thing in our lives. The quicker we understand discipline, the better equipped we are to move forward. And I got to believe the discipline component was probably good for you at an early age.
Absolutely. Discipline. I was not the best child growing up. My mother would be the first one to say that. And I would say going to boot camp was the first thing that really opened my eyes about, what's important in life. What my mom has taught me. I've just grown up so much after, going off to recruit training. It built that discipline to really know I need to depend on myself sometimes. I need to act maturely. And that's what really carried me into the military career.
Chad, it's not just a commitment you make. I mean, when I see these guys, I read you've got a wife and 2 sons. It's a family commitment.
Yes, sir.
You were single when you were deployed, or single when you joined the military?
When I joined the military, yes, I was single at that time.
But it's still a commitment that goes on, and the family has to make that commitment. Is that, I don't want to say is it difficult. I don't think that's a fair way to ask the question. But what's different about the families of the men and women who serve in armed forces that someone like me wouldn't fully understand?
Yes, sir. It's not difficult or anything. It's more of a sacrifice you have to make. You have to prioritize what's important to you, what needs to happen first. I would say the biggest thing for us we're about to roll into is, my re-enlistment, and then my wife going to nursing school at Florence Darden Tech. That requires a lot of hours on her side, and I already work 12-hour days now. There's 2 kids that, might be in the pool and the struggle during that time. That's going to be a sacrifice we have to make to where, hey, we're going to have to be tired sometimes. We're going to have to make sure the 2 young boys are taken care of, making sure they're happy, make sure they're getting what they want.
If there's a young person listening this morning, or the parents of someone who is not sure about what direction they need to head, whether it's college or tech or go to work or join the armed forces, how do they find out more? How do you begin really understanding the option that is the military?
The first thing is to get in contact with your local recruiter. All 3 recruiters that work right now in the Florence County area and the Sumter area, they're awesome young men. They really will get the information out to you. We're on 2600 South Irby Street. Our numbers are posted right there on the door. Reach out to a recruiter, Marine Corps recruiter. Reach out to them. Just getting information, you're going to be that much more powerful if you get a little more information in your life. There's no commitments or anything until you're ready to make that commitment, and that's the biggest thing that we try to push. Right.
And you don't regret at all making that commitment?
Absolutely not, never.
Good for you. Hey, we say thank you, and I mean that. I use the word humble a lot. I'm humbled by people like you because I'm allowed to do all these crazy things I do because we live in a safe, secure nation that wouldn't be safe and secure if it were not for people who agreed to serve our country. So thank you from me to you. But we've got some corporate sponsors, Rev, who want to say, I do a little more than just say thank you. They want to, our guest here and our winner to have a good time.
That's right. You receive a night stay at Hotel Florence, downtown Florence, plus dinner for 2 at Town Hall Restaurant. Also in downtown Florence, there is a Pepsi prize pack here for you, a certificate for bowling and food for a family of 4 from Southgate Bowling. And, of course, we're honored to interview you here on the radio show, and we want to thank our title sponsors, Pepsi of Florence and Palmetto Goodwill, our supporting sponsors, Hotel Florence, Town Hall Restaurant, Southgate Bowling, PD Speech and Hearing, and Florence Carpet and Tile.
Thank you, my friend.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Good luck to you in the future.
Thank you.